Hi, it's Nanette and Mehernez, and
Hi.
we're here to talk about the new moon in Aquarius. We're so excited. It's kind of big. So, do you want me to do the energy part first, or?
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
So, I want to go over what we've done this year. I feel like, if you're aligning yourself with the energies and you're doing the work, you're working your butt off this year. So, first we purged, then we healed, then we aligned with the higher self, and then we surrendered. And now this new moon, this is what it feels like to me. It's airy, Aquarius, right? It feels like um, it's important for you to align your goals with your energy, align your intentions with your energy, everything's vibration. And so getting your vibration to the right place, we surrendered, and that means you don't hold on as tight to how it's going to happen, what it's going to look like, even the people who are going to play the parts in it. I remember my guy told me once, the part will always be filled. You don't have to hold on to a certain person to fill a part for you. Um, and there's so I know there's six planets lining up. And so when I heard something about that, and the visual I got and the words I got from my guides was the stars, the stars are lining up. The stars are lining up. So the stars are lining up for you to move forward towards your desire, towards what you want to manifest. So it's time that you get your vibration in the right place. And I'm going to give a really quick tip on how to do this. And that would be, so you focus on what you desire being here, not the absence of it, what it feels like and looks like to you to have what you desire here. And then once you get to it, you just stay in the feeling. You don't have to keep recreating and visualizing, though it helps some people. Um, you want to get to that feeling, and you want to do whatever you can just to stay in that feeling. So um, if that's not helpful, if it doesn't totally do it for you, then you can just do a quick search on YouTube, right? Abraham Hicks, they've been doing this for like 40 years, so any question you have on getting your vibration in the right alignment, you'll find there. But that's what I have. I don't, that's my feelings. I feel like it's a big thing. I feel like also, if you haven't done the other things I listed, it's not too late. Just go into it and get yourself there and catch yourself up. It's okay. These are energies. You can always pull from the energies. You can always get yourself there if you want to. If you want to, I would use the energy. This is good energy. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna I'm gonna hand it over to you so you can give the astrology part of it. Go ahead.
All right, beautiful. Okay. So yes, you're absolutely right about the fact that this is huge. But I feel like I keep repeating myself. All of this year I've been saying, "Oh, this is huge," because we've had so many chances and portals. So one thing I'd like to clarify before I start is that every time we talk about, "Oh, this is huge," what we're saying is it's a different type of huge. Like Nanette was talking about, we were going through stages, right, of purging and all of that. So we're not trying to be redundant, but there's literally that many opportunities or portals, because astrology presents a portal. It presents an opportunity when these planets line up like that for us to make a certain shift in our life trajectory that is leading us towards our growth, and if we make use of it. And that's the whole purpose of informing you about it. So let's start with, well, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. So the good news is that unlike last year where the planets were really not well aligned on Valentine's Day, this Valentine's Day they are absolutely stunningly aligned for love. So we have Venus
Oh,
conjunct Jupiter. The planet of love is conjuncting the planet that expands it. So, love and good fortune and luck, and even Venus rules money and possessions and values, real estate. all of that. So there is so going to be an expansion. So if you're in an existing relationship, there is going to be a sort of growth, or a sort of a new chapter type of feeling. But I'll get back to the but of the growth being through vulnerability, if you so choose to be vulnerable and grow through it. But overall, it's a lot of beauty and art and music, because Venus rules that stuff too. So it really, you might feel like, it's been a while, I've like explored any art and grown spiritually and so on and so forth. And it's also a lot of friendships, even platonic friendships, new friendships, a growth of existing friendships, and partnerships as well, because Venus rules partnerships. So, and money. So there could be like opportunities for partnerships that are popping up to increase your wealth, or maybe through your investments. And especially if it's investing in art, because again, it's Venus. But yes, relationships of all kinds are a major focus during this new moon, which is so close, because the new moon is on the 11th, and it's very close to Valentine's Day, and also on money and success and growth, and also self-love, because we always talk about Venus in terms of love for others, but really dedicating to yourself. And you may be having thoughts and feelings about, how do I like really do all the things that I have allotted for myself, or I have on agenda for myself? How do I bring them into action through this self-love? So there is this Venus conjunction Jupiter, beautiful, beautiful combination. And now for the Big Bang, we have 6 planets in Aquarius right now. So now there's a reason this is huge. I know we've been talking about the coming of the Aquarian age since the solstice. We've been just talking about it and talking about it, and it gets bigger and bigger. So we'll talk about it again. Because what is happening is, now Aquarius as a planet, what it does bring is a lot of you're itching for freedom. And I know we've spoken about it, but I'm going to go a little deeper into this, because 6 planets aligned in Aquarius is giant, because it's a rare phenomenon. It doesn't happen every day. So there is a sense of uniqueness and unconventionality about your Uranus, which is the ruler of Aquarius, and but in a way where it is focused on finding solutions for the betterment of the collective. And also there is a flip side to this. We've all been talking about the goodness of moving into the age of Aquarius, but Aquarius is so focused on the truth of the collective that sometimes it becomes very impersonal. So the shadow side over here is that we might miss the fact that we are not opening up enough, or not getting personal enough. And that is important, because we are in a Venus period. We have Venus conjunct Jupiter. So for you to take the best advantage of this beautiful energy of love around the Valentine's Day, it is very important to really stay open and personal, and not be very impersonal, because we've all been through a deep period of purge and growth in the last few weeks. So it's important to now start opening up, and allowing being more personal, and not just focusing on the freedom and the unconventionality, because basically it's too much of Aquarius with 6 planets in Aquarius. So there is an imbalance. So we're trying to ask you to bring it back into balance. So yes, we completely understand that you're just about learning how to be sovereign in every face, shape, and form. So we're not saying stop that journey. We're just saying, well, also focus on, just the love part and the personable part, because there are opportunities that are going to come suddenly. And the reason why that's going to happen is we have another important thing going on. We have Saturn squaring Uranus. So whenever Uranus squares anything, it brings very sudden changes, almost to the point where sometimes they could lead to a little bit of tension and frustration, because they're unexpected. We're not expecting it. It just you just drop a ball all of a sudden, and expect you to handle it. So with that happening, with these sudden changes happening, and it can play out in various ways depending on how Saturn is placed in your chart. And Saturn is not an easy one, so it makes it harder to make the changes that you want. And sometimes you may feel like your personal freedom is restricted because of that, because you can't, you were like, I was just making a headway, and where is it going? But what you need to understand is that if you stay flexible whenever Uranus is in play, because it's sudden, just stay flexible and kind of flow with what's coming in, because sometimes they could be opportunities, to make shifts. And if you're just adaptive about it, and when these shifts happen, because Saturn is in place, they will be permanent. So the shifts have the potential of being permanent. So see what is shifting, and really, once again, just like last moon, we're talking about, see what's externally coming inward to you, rather than what you want to kind of impose upon out the outside world, and that'll bring the shifts. Now there is a healing component to that shift, because we again have Chiron here. So we have Saturn also making a transit with Chiron, which is the planet that always brings healing through lessons, through wounding, but it definitely brings deep healing. So some part of our life structure that Saturn holds is being kind of broken down to undergo healing. So what we need to do is really stay open to create space. Allow space for being vulnerable. And this is why I'm talking about not being impersonal. Like if something is bubbling up for you, talk about it, get help, just like even be around friends, because with all that Venus energy, don't bottle it inside, because this thing is coming up for healing, so that healing can only happen if you allow the vulnerability, and you're not so much about, oh, me, my freedom, blah, 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 with those 6 planets in Aquarius, and about the collective, and really focus on, yes, my deeper needs, and how can I be more personal with my deeper needs, right? So that's a very important piece, that to not shut anyone down at this point in time, if a message is coming through. And then there's also Neptune in play. Neptune actually is sextiling Mars. So Neptune again makes things very dreamy, very arty. It's all about, even like massages and all the good stuff. So Neptune you can use this beautiful energy of Neptune around this period of Venus transit to enhance the love by spiritually connecting and deeply connecting with your connections, and really enjoying them. And even Neptune brings the same energy of art and music, and connecting to those things and the beautiful things that you may have missed for a while. But because it's in Mars, there is another aspect, like a sensation of being a spiritual warrior, so you want to defend anyone, you want to defend the weak from the bullies, you want to you fight for the cause, and like the sudden sense of what is right and what is wrong comes through, and which is great, except Neptune can bring delusion. So again, don't fight for the sake of fighting. Like really see, who are you, what side are you taking, and validate, validify, what's going on before you actually try to go into the helping or defending anyone. So those are some very important things that are coming up. But
here we go.
All right. So, well, there is one last thing I want to talk about. There is actually a fixed star, saddle suit. Now, this star actually means, in its meaning, is luckiest of the lucky. So it's like this. Yeah, it's a star of destiny, really. So it it is supposed to bring great honor and riches according to mythology. So what happens is that with this star directly making aspects to the new moon, we and with all this Venus energy that Jupiter is expanding, there's a lot of energy and opportunity for like expansion of things
Mm.
that you love that can bring financial gain even. So it's partnerships and things of that sort. So pay attention, and again, because Uranus suddenly drops those bombs, so pay attention to what is coming your way, and like make room for it and be flexible to allow for whatever is coming your way to come, because clearly something is. And um and 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 that was just a very important piece, because I just was fascinated by how it's the same time when Jupiter is coming to expand Venus and finances, right? You could even be buying real estate for that matter. Everything's expanding. Just but because we're still in Mercury retrograde, double check and triple check everything if you're buying like a house or a car or something. But yeah, basically, um we are in a very beautiful time. And the best way to use this time is to open up and allow your vulnerability, like really talk to friends and family and your loved ones and your significant loved one or other, and be open and vulnerable to conversations, because those conversations can be very healing. And if you just allow yourself to be the vulnerability to do it, even if it's conversations about what you went through in the past, the growth that you went through in the past couple of weeks, that um, or whatever is alive for you, really be in your feminine side, because we've been so much about me with the whole Aquarian theme, that it is gently shifting into we. Well, the Leo full moon was more about like us and party time and groups. Now we're now moving into the one-on-one conversations, and the it's an exceptionally good new moon for relationships, and new moons are anyway great for new beginnings. And especially a spiritual type of relationship with that all that Neptune in play. And usually the effects last for a month until the next new moon. So this whole month of February is the focus is going to be relationships and finances.
That sounds really good. That's what most people are focused on, right? Their relationships and their money.
Right.
Dollar bill.
Absolutely.
Yay.
Yeah.
I love it. I do love it. Well, um, yeah. So and as always, self-love precedes, true love. That's how I see it. Self-love precedes true love, because you can have love relationships, but if you don't have self-love, you're not really going to delve into true love, because it's kind of surface. You can't love someone unless you love yourself. So if that's your focus, do a lot of the self-love. Get yourself in alignment,
Yeah.
with yourself first. I
Right.
love it.
Absolutely. And I can't agree more, because if we don't learn to love ourselves, and we don't define our own borders, and put ourselves first, then really we just cannot give out of an empty cup. And if the cup just flows, then everything is great, and it just starts there. It's and then it keeps flowing. So thank you for
Mm-hmm.
always bringing that up. It's a very important piece. So that
Mm-hmm.
Chiron that's bringing these healings can also really magnify, with the whole Jupiterian energy magnifying the love of Venus, the self love. So through healing,
Yeah.
your self love can be magnified, and you are kind of defining, also manifesting new love. It's a beautiful time for manifesting new love. Leo full moon brought that up, and now this is enhancing it too, because it's a new moon.
New
Jupiter is
love, new moon.
enhancing
Yeah.
things. It's absolutely that time. So I love it. I
Mhm.
love when around Valentine's Day they have conductive Venus transits, because otherwise there have been those that are really effed up transits, pardon me, but and it's hard, and because it's really every day is Valentine's Day. Really every day, there's no like limitations to love, but people sort of have expectations, just like the holidays, right? There's so much hype around it that it's
Mhm.
expected that something needs to be done, and then when it doesn't happen, and people get disappointed, and so I feel really bad when I have to deliver that message. So this time I'm happy because it's good stuff.
Absolutely. All right. Well, if you get some new love, go ahead and leave a comment below. I want to hear about it. I'm
I
nosy. No,
know, right?
I'm excited too. I'm really excited. It feels exciting.
Mhm.
Um, be open to surprises. Be open to love and love yourself. We love you. Mwah.
Oh, we love you. And if you like our videos, please give a little like, share, subscribe. It
Mhm.
supports us, it supports the process, and we can just send our messages and reach out to more people. Thank you, everyone, for your time and for listening.
Thank you.